Hello and welcome everybody to the third official episode of Dragons of Discord. Today on Discordant Dragons, we have some excellent guests and of course, my lovely co-host 3 of 12. Today, the party is going to be settling the disputes this time, not anger, but merely confusion and questions about different parts of human life here on the Third Rock of Soul. Today we are joined by Wyleven. He's a charming and brilliant creator and cunning co-host of Uzulu over on the Wizards channel. Wyleven, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
Thank you for being here. Glad to have you in the party. Ginger Monster, you have returned to the party of Discordant Dragons. How are you today, my friend?
I have returned, and it is wonderful to be back here.
Good. And then last but not least, of course, we have my co-host 3 of 12. How are you today, friend?
I'm just dandy. How are you, Yizz?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. I've been looking forward to this episode. I have some ideas for it. And before we get started, I'd like to remind everybody of a few things. But first, I want to thank everybody for being here today. We had 30 people waiting to watch this live. That's the most we've had waiting yet. So I'd like to say hello to Bertie Barrett, to Bertie Bassett, and White Healing, which are doing the moderation for my chat today. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. And before we get rolling, I'd like to remind everybody that you can follow these streams on DLive and Trovo. DLive and Trovo are places I'm getting used to broadcasting. I already see we've got some people like Jim and Morty over on DLive and Trovo. And thank you for everyone being in the chat. Good to see you, Safety Zoom, and some other people coming over from Short Fat Otaku's group. Glad to see you guys here tonight. I moderated today a long 3-hour terrible discussion that Dev from Short Fat Otaku had with some communist idiot. And I had to moderate all 3 hours of chat. It was quite taxing. And I appreciate the few of you from over there that wanted to come over here and have a good time with me after that terrible stream. Not terrible as in SFO, but just terrible as in I don't like having to deal with communists. So,
Oh, God.
Before we get started here, last thing, I'd like to remind everybody that towards the end of the stream, as well as twice during the stream, what we're going to do is take questions and comments. If you have things that you think would help us with speaking sense to the dragons, or just questions and comments you have for the party, you can leave them on the question widget over on Entropy, as well as leaving financial gifts. And speaking of financial gifts and supporting the channel, you can also gift via Cash App and PayPal. Now I'm going to go ahead and put those links for everybody in the chat descriptions. And it's going to take me a second because I have to post them not only here on YouTube, but also over on DLive and Trovo as well. So now that we've said that, all right. Whoever's keyboard that is, please mute yourself if you're going to type because it's loud. I think that was you, 3 of 12. But
Yeah, I was just testing.
all right. So today we have 5 chromatic dragons again. And the way that this works is each person in the party is going to decide in turn which issue that we're going to tackle first. And today, let's put it up on the side. Here we go. Today, the 5 chromatic dragons have the following. The green dragon has insidious alchemy. The black dragon is, are humans like onions too? The red dragon shouts, more delicious children. The white dragon ponders, will the Archmage Dolezal share her magic? And then last but not least, the blue dragon. This is a special blue dragon. This blue dragon, not even I have learned the dialect of. She is from a world that doesn't share a draconic dialect like the Council of Worm Worlds. And she asked Buknyak Chat, let's see, Donk Indik? Is that right, Oog? Now, Oog is her translator. He's not here right now. He's with her. Oog will be appearing whenever it's time to handle talking with her. But he says that Buknyak Chat Donk Indik translates roughly to war chief food delivery sadness. Now, I don't know what war chief food delivery sadness means, but we'll sort that out whenever she comes up in the docket to handle her problems. So We're going to roll a d3 here because I'm not going to go first. We're going to roll a d3. We're going to let Wes pick his number. Pick a number 1 through 3, Wes.
Two.
Wes, are you there?
Yeah, Wes. Okay, Wes said 2, so we're going to let him be 2, 3 of 12 be number 1, and Ginger be 3. So let's
Alrighty.
roll it and see what we get.
Delightful.
It's a 2. That's Wes Wyleven.
All right.
All right, Wes. Out of these topics here, which dragon would you like to address the issue of first?
Well, my instinct is to go with the red one, but
Red one. All right.
but I am intrigued by the foreign nature of the blue one, so let's go with that one.
Oh, we're going to do that one first. Okay. Give me just a moment. Now, here we have the translator. Let me see if we can get a hold of him. His name is Oog. Oog, my friend, are you present? Oog. Oh, there he is. Here comes Oog. Okay. We've got Oog. Now, Oog is from her world, and the orcs are her servitor race where she's from. Say hello, Oog.
Hello, Oog.
All right, we've got Oog with us. Now, Oog, you've told me that the Buknyakchat Dongindik stands for War Chief Food Delivery Sadness. Now, what exactly does that mean?
Oog Dragon say, this week, Dragon not understand human nature. Not understand food delivery. War Chief City. You understand?
No, I don't, Oog. Give me a moment. I have a scroll here. Now, this is a scroll of telepathic bond, and what I'm going to do is bypass Oog for a moment. All right. Now, oh, what is that? Oh, the dragon spoke to me telepathically and said that will not be necessary. She's going to command Oog to understand better. All right. Now I can have a private aside with Oog and understand the dragon's problem. And the dragon's problem is... I'm loading another website.
Oh,
This is all just theater.
jeez.
All right.
I'm enjoying this.
Oh no.
The blue dragon needs to understand why in the capital of the greatest warlord city in this continent, why food delivery is being interfered with. Now, currently, she believes that Uber drivers deliver themselves to be eaten to the greatest dragon in the land. But right now, Oog is explaining to her what Uber is. So, just in case people don't know what happened, while Oog and her sort things out, recently an Uber driver was killed by a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old in a carjacking. And these two, let's be nice and call them inner city youths. Did you say youths? The inner city youths carjacked this man, tased him, and he tried to get out the back of the car as they sped away. The car crashed. The man died afterwards. Now,
Oh no.
news. And in the news that Oog and the Blue Dragon were looking through earlier, she is confused as to why humans would deliver themselves to be eaten. Now, they've already worked it out that these humans are not delivered to be eaten, but she wonders why young savages would interfere with such an empty service. So, let me perhaps step in. Oog, do you mind if I try this? Okay. Great Blue Dragon, could you please read my mind so I can explain what Uber is? Oog is failing terribly. Oh, I'm glad you guys didn't see that. She just struck Oog roughly.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh no. Oog.
Okay. Now she finally understands exactly what Uber Eats is. But she does have a question. She wants to know if all human young are stunning and brave like these two who take what they want from the weak, or if these are special children, perhaps children of the local warlord, since DC is the capital of the reigning warlord's forces. So, what would you say to that to explain to her what these children are and why they did it?
Well, first of all, now I'm confused. You mean to tell me that Uber Eats doesn't deliver people for you to eat? Because now I'm confused.
Well, they certainly did last I checked.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how else am I going to get takeout Chinese?
Oh, I need a soundboard. I got to learn how to do a soundboard because we can have a lot of fun with the soundboard on this stream.
No, but when the really really sad thing about this, the way that I would describe this is, you've got a couple people who have been who are the descendants of people who are the descendants of people who are the descendants of people who have been manipulated by certain groups in order to be violent and horrible people. And to be honest with you, like,
I'm translating all this to her mentally as you speak.
Sure,
so go
sure,
on.
absolutely. Make sure you do that. No, like you've got to like. Of course, I am not. Keep in mind, and this is mainly for the chat, not necessarily for the dragon. Of course, keep in mind, I am not making any excuses for these degenerates that did this, because for those of you who don't know, man, there is a video of the entire thing out there, and it's graphic, it's horrible, it's disgusting. And for these teenagers, a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, for them to have done such a horrible thing, because they didn't just carjack this guy, they beat him in his car and then they murdered him. And it gets in my craw a little bit, but that being said, for the dragon's sake, I would say that unfortunate manipulated youths decided to take the easy path to acquire wealth and power, and killed an innocent person in order to do so.
Okay. She chortled in laughter because that's a delight to the blue dragon.
Of course.
They delight in the manipulation, of course, and the destruction of human society. She, of course, is from a long line of dragons on her planet. They don't have any humans anymore. They saw to that problem. Ginger, what would you have to say about this incident and explaining to her these things?
I would say that it's entirely likely that these two brave warrior-esque children had decided that the society around them had become vastly inferior for their violent outburst needs, and that they felt they must find a more efficient means by which to spirit themselves away to a more appropriate location. A location that we in our realm would refer to as prison, but I'm sure that these children would find a far better home were they to accompany this grand blue drake back to their own domain.
Yeah, Oog is nodding in support. Oog says that he would gladly take them back to his tribe. They seem like good candidates for warriors. 3 of 12, what would you have to say to the great dragon about this to help her understand the situation?
Well, I would tell the dragon, these warriors, they live in a society where warriors are no longer at least needed outside of very, very narrow circumstances. So taking them with her or with him, I don't misgender, would be optimal. Absolutely optimal to get rid of them. And
Okay.
yes.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
This one actually hit me particularly hard because I live in the DMV. I know exactly what that street is. I've been there many times. That's right next to Nationals Park. I mean, it really weirded me out to see a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old attack a man in a car just to get his car when neither of them know how to drive themselves.
Especially when this man was an immigrant that came here seeking the American dream and was seemingly, by all accounts, a functional, good member of American society. Very sad.
I mean, DC can be scummy at times, but usually that's a safe part of DC. The fact that they thought that they could get away with this because COVID has made DC a ghost town shocks and
Oh, this was
saddens me.
apparently news to the dragon. She asked the question, would this man not have died if he remained in the safety of his homeland? That is a valid question, but not for now. Let's Oog, you can tell her more later. Go ahead, 3 of 12.
Indeed. Frankly, he came here to be safer, I'm sure, so that he could earn a living that enabled him a comfortable lifestyle.
Indeed. All right.
I
Any
have
other
another
further
point.
back and forth before we wrap things up with Oog and the Great Blue here?
Ginger's got something for us.
Yes. It is worth mentioning to Oog and the Great Blue Dragon that whilst, yes, the core aspect of any society is the warrior caste, not every member of a society can be a member of said warrior caste, and even the most mighty of warriors still need those to support them when they are not on the battlefield. It's
True.
entirely
All right.
possible that this poor individual was fleeing from a region where he and his weaker kind were simply overpopulated and was seeking a place to more properly make use of his talents and skills.
Okay. Any other wrap up from you, Wes, before we finish up with Oog and the Blue here?
No, just that, like, everything that I've seen about the guy that was killed, like, you know, Pakistani immigrant,
Yep.
came here legally, and not like as an asylum seeker or anything like that. Like, went through the process of applying, got a job, retired from that job, decided to take up Uber Eats to make a little extra money for helping out his kids and stuff. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad story.
I just breaks my heart.
Oh, I was going to say something to Oog, but apparently Oog has just been eaten. And
Oh,
You gotta get that.
the Great Blue has thanked us for helping her understand the situation and says that she'll be back and hopefully there will be some type of camp or facility at which she can find these young spirited children and those like them to liberate and take with her back to her planet and perhaps find a replacement for Oog.
Don't tell her about the border.
Yeah, well, just follow the burning targets, and you'll find the targets in Walgreens, and you'll find plenty.
All right. Before we move on to the next topic here, we're going to pull the dragons of today back open. And I'm going to remind the chat, after this one, we'll be taking a short chat break. So if you have questions and comments about the dragons or the party today, you can put them over on Entropy. And as usual, we're going to put the other two links in here. And I'd like to take this short break to remind you, you can financially support me monthly on Subscribestar. I actually have a rather active Subscribestar now. We've got several people donating a month over there. And I hear a motorcycle in somebody's microphone, but that's okay. It's passed.
That's me.
All right. That's okay. That's okay. Using the question widget over on Entropy, you don't have to pay to use it. You can leave donation chats over there if you want. But the thing I'm trying to get everybody to start using, over on Entropy, there's a thing called the question widget on the left-hand side. That way, stuff you want to say to me or the people I have on my streams, it'll stay over there and not disappear. And the people that use Entropy can actually vote up and down on the questions and comments to show how supported by the community they are. I'm trying to get everybody in the habit of using that because Entropy is really awesome. So you guys definitely go check that out when you can. All right. Now, we have 4 dragons left that we're going to be addressing. The dragons that we're addressing, since the blue is out, we've got white, green, black, and red left. And we're going to roll the D3 again. And this time, you want to keep the same number, Wes, or you want to change numbers?
Oh, no, I'll keep 2. I like 2.
You're going to keep 2. All right. All right, it's a 1. That's 3 of 12.
All right.
3 of 12. Which dragon would you like to address?
The incomprehensible one. Oh, that's a blue dragon.
That's the one we
More-
just spoke
That's the
to.
one we just
More
did.
delicious children, since we're on the theme of children.
Okay, so that would be delicious human children from the Great Red.
Hmm.
All right.
Mr. Red.
All right, give me just a moment. Okay.
Excited.
I got to get the link up here. All right. All right, everybody listen. We're going to do a quick little video here to set the stage for the red dragon.
Is there supposed to be sound?
Yes. Give me just a second.
I don't seem to be able to hear anything.
I clicked the share audio button, but it didn't seem to work. It's a short video. It's only a minute long, so we'll just restart it here. Give me a second.
Okay.
For some reason, it won't automatically share sound on this interface. You have to click a button, and it seems like about 1 out of 4 times you click it, it doesn't work. Let's try this again.
Ah, delightful.
Let's try this again. There it goes.
Border Patrol station is no place for a child, and that is why we are working around the clock to move those children out of the Border Patrol facilities into the care and custody of the Department of Health and Human Services that shelters them.
All right. Now, for those of you that remember last week, I'll catch those of you up. The red dragon revisiting us is the same red dragon from last week that talked about the delicious golden brown children in the baking foil, like delicious little potato children that we were wasting down at the southern border. Now, the red dragon returns this week, and he has further questions about the vast numbers of these delicious golden brown children, foil wrapped, that go uneaten at our southern border here in the United States. He says that watching videos like this one, like these brain control illusions that our kings and queens use to herd the subjects, it would be easy to use those illusions to get the people of the United States to believe that these children want to be eaten, since they travel great distances and willingly climb into the baking foil and arrange themselves so neatly in these large border ovens. So he is curious to know why an endless, massive resource of delicious golden brown children isn't properly utilized as a food source for the dominant tribe in North America. So let's start with Ginger Monster this time. Ginger, what do you think about this? What should we say to the dragon to explain him the situation?
I think it would be prudent to explain to the Great Red Dragon that whilst it is important to be able to take advantage of such an opportunistic source of food, there are already vast quantities of supplies existing within the northern tribes, so much so that to allow this willing source of food to just simply waltz on into these lands would be to allow them to go to waste. It's far better to instead turn them away so that they can come in at a far more manageable pace so that their vast quantities will not be wasted.
3 of 12. What do you have to say to the red this week?
Well, since it's cold on the way in, you need those little wrappers to keep them nice and warm. They can't go to waste, like Ginger said. Now, just like Ginger said, we do only want a certain amount in at a time. And the trip is very dangerous. So when they're getting there, they're becoming difficult to manage. In fact, I believe an NBC report said that there was 4,200 there was 4,200 of them in the facilities, which is more than ever, and that they did not have the food stores to keep them fed, so they were starving. This is a crazy.
The dragon interjects here and says that he knows that more than 100 a day are coming to these facilities, and they seemingly willingly climb directly into the ovens. So he thinks that despite what you two say about utilizing them properly, he thinks that there are arguments, of course, but he at least believes in some of the illusions that are cast upon our people, that many of them should not be sent back. They should instead be eaten, that we should eat the ones that nobody wants. So, Wes, what would you say to that?
Well, I would say that. So the ironic thing about this is there are individuals. There is a reason why all these children are coming in, and it is for the purposes of sating appetites, but it's not of the dietary variety. If you know what I'm saying.
The dragon, in his keen wisdom and understanding of all the cruelties that can be wrought upon people, he understands and approves, and also understands that those who are not like him in alignment may wish to prevent such things from happening.
Oh yeah, no, and it is with it's even more ironic that people who do have a very similar alignment to the dragon are using these children for their own personal gains, thus sating an even a in my opinion almost equally as bad appetite, an appetite for power, an appetite for manipulation of the people.
That is one of the things he admires most about the warlords who have orchestrated the power structure that lord over the North American tribe, he says.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I find it infinitely ironic that that it's like, all of these children are here. What are we gonna do? It's like I don't know. We got AC-130s and parachutes. Just a thought. Just But to answer the dragon's question, I don't. To be fair, I will say one thing. To be fair, those foil wrappers are very comfortable. They're loud. They're loud, but they are comfortable. They're thermal blankets. They're comfy.
Yeah, I knew they were thermal blankets, but I've never handled one. I know that you can get them in emergency kits for your car, and a lot of people use them for going on hunting trips and shit, where you're gonna like go up to hunt elk where it's really cold and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd be surprised how comfortable it is in a cold concrete floor lined warehouse where
border oven.
Oh, border oven. My mistake. Border oven. The ironic part. Tell the Red Dragon this. The ironic part about this is we already had the North American tribe already had systems in place to basically completely prevent this from happening, and then, well.
Yeah, he is aware of that, and he is glad that the last warlord leader was surreptitiously deposed, because he approves, of course, of the current power structure far more than the previous one, as you might have imagined.
That does add up, yes.
It gets so cold at night, you might as well have an oven for those people.
Yeah, deserts get really cold at night. That's true. Like even because I lived in Albuquerque a long time, and it would be like 90 or 100 degrees during the daytime, and it'd be so damn cold with the wind chill. You need a nice jacket at night. It gets down to like 30 or 40 when the sun goes down.
the one of my one of my favorite things is like, oh, sorry kids, we can't use all the beds. COVID, enjoy the floor. It's like, oh,
No.
well then. Oh God.
Well,
Yeah.
the dragon has another question. He says that if these children are to be protected from certain appetites, um, would would it not be would it not appeal to those who are not of his alignment to simply euthanize them in their sleep by putting gases or chemicals into these ovens, because he knows that similar power structures to the ones that are controlling this tribe now have used those tactics in the past to great effect, because they're even still talked about or even exemplified in some ways in certain media. So he wants to know if it would fly to use those tactics again, perhaps certain gases or chemicals, and then we could utilize them as food, as he believes is the most important thing, since they are already deliciously golden brown.
Well,
Hmm.
firstly and most importantly, you don't want to poison the thing you're gonna eat, because that ruins the meat.
Yes.
But
Yes. Indeed.
on another point, might not the mass slaughtering of children usually frowned upon. Usually, I mean,
Ah, okay.
if you're willing to believe certain individuals who have taken certain videos or screenshots of certain things, I mean, maybe not be too far off. But as of right now, gonna go ahead and make that logical leap that pretty much everyone believes that the wholesale slaughter of children bad.
The Great Red just told me he didn't understand just how socially frowned upon that was now with how things have changed, and he understands that. So he's starting to understand a little better
Oh.
the whys around all of this.
I can clear that
Although he
up.
lets it be known that he would gladly come and eat all these children for us, of course, because they look so tasty.
Tell the red
It's
dragon, I'm
important
sure.
to point out as well that whilst it is a potential option to simply do away with all of this vast number of children via the use of this poisonous gas, doing so would taint the meat. And, well, at that point, the only one of his kind who would even have the opportunity to eat them would be the green dragon. And I'm sure
He
the last thing
understands.
he
He
wants.
says he understands that humans do not char their food before they eat them, and of course we are weak, unlike dragons. So chemicals and poisons would offend our stomachs, where it would not the dragons. He understands.
Speak for yourself.
Well,
Spicy
and,
things.
and also let them know that give the Democrats a few years in power, and I'm sure they'll have similar appetites.
Oh,
dear
he
Lord.
says that he is well aware of Democrats and the ruling oligarchs already have a different kind of taste for children. He's been keenly aware of that for years, which is what piqued his interest about the power structure in this particular tribe. So,
Yes,
yes.
I have a question for our red dragon friend. Over in our reality, there tends to be the case where the more oppressive a regime is, the more likely it is to name itself after concepts which describe it very poorly, such as the People's Republic of North Korea and the Democratic Party of America. I was wondering if the same holds true where he hails from.
Hold on a second. He says yes and no. Where he lords over many different human kingdoms, they have different customs, but he ignores them because they're simple and boring. But he says that a few of them that he has witnessed and lorded over, they do have similar threads of darkness, and he is familiar with that.
I see, that is curious.
But this world, he says, there are so many humans that it's difficult to understand. Our technology and our magic is so different that it's all alien to him, which is another reason that this world piques his interest. He's very old, you understand. He's very ancient. He's nearly 2,000 years old.
Ah, a truly venerable beast.
He's appreciative of how we have helped him understand things. So he is sated. So before we move on, since he has the time, let's check the comments and paid chat and see what we've got going on. We might have some things over on the question widget for the dragon. Let's go check over here. Oh, here we go. We do have 3 things over on Entropy, but before we get to those, let's refresh PayPal and Cash App and see if we have any paid messages to read first. Let's see here. I'm refreshing both right now as we speak. And over on Cash App, nothing's showing up yet. If you did send something to me on Cash App, sometimes it takes a few minutes to show up. And nothing over on PayPal. So let's move to the Entropy things. Top of the list here, we've got Zoldor. Zoldor says, if an A10 Warthog go burr, it says, okay. If is not the right way to say it. He says, A10 Warthog go burr is one solution to the border problem. Then does it matter if we treat them with less nice ways in detainment? I don't really think that comment or question is for the dragon. I think that was just Zoldor having a go. So we're going to move on to what Ravelon has to say here. Ravelon says, I'm pretty sure that those children are being trafficked by the U.S. government for nefarious purposes, namely child labor and cheese pizza. Now, the cheese pizza thing we've already talked about, and our dragon friend here thinks that what we call pizza isn't even food, and it's revolting to him because it didn't even used to think or cry. So he does, however, approve of the other kind of appetite that we just talked about. And last but not least, over on Entropy, we have Rayclaw Icefire saying, I would like to ask the Black Dragon something. Do you like waffles in the morning? Well, I'm going to leave that one up and not clear it. We'll wait till we talk to the Black Dragon, and we'll get back to that. So let's see here. To remind everybody, if you want to participate in Entropy, you can do so at the following link. I'm going to put that in the chat again here, just to remind everyone. And White Healing, if you can go ahead and share the other links from earlier, please do that. You can contribute financially if you want on Cash App as well as PayPal. And I'm putting the Entropy link over on DLive and Trovo as well. So hopefully people watching on other platforms can contribute too. Speaking of other platforms, while we're on a short break here, I found out that unless you monetize Twitch or try to become part of their partnership, you are allowed to stream to Twitch as well as other platforms. So I'm considering adding Twitch into my multi-streaming. So type a T, a capital T in the chat, if you would be interested in me broadcasting my streams to Twitch. I don't have a particular interest in it, but I'd like to see what other people have to say. So put a T in chat if you're interested in me streaming to Twitch as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get that dragon graphic back open here, and we're going to pick us another dragon to talk to.
Yes, assuming that your hardware can handle it, I don't see any downsides towards spreading out your broadcasts to as many platforms as possible.
It's true. I've not dealt with Twitch before other than to visit Dev over on his Game Boomers stream. But Twitch seems okay, but I know that they are led by people who are ideologically opposed to me. But you could say the same about YouTube and pretty much everything else. So I didn't know how heavily I wanted to get involved with Twitch. But I did learn that you're not held under the you can only stream here rules if you're not part of the partnership program or whatever it is they call it over there. So I thought I'd talk to people and see who was interested in it. I'm seeing some T's in chat now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 people interested. So I'll consider it. Maybe we'll look into that. So the dragons that we have left today are the green, the white, and the black. And the black dragon is Are Humans Like Onions Too? The green dragon is Insidious Alchemy. And the white dragon ponders, will Archmage Dolezal share her magic? So we're going to stick with the same number setup again. And we're going to roll. And it's a 3. So that's Ginger. Ginger, which of the black, white, or green would you like to address next?
I think I'm going to have to opt for the black dragon. Are humans like onions too?
That's racist, Ginger.
Oh, okay. The Drake of Chromaticness.
Dragon of Color.
That's better.
All right, so the Dragon of Color Let's see what we got here. All right. Hopefully you guys have seen this today. This is a pretty good one. I'm going to make it a little bigger so you guys can see it.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, yes.
Emma want to burn down white-owned businesses.
I always knew that little bastard was evil.
A controversial new episode of Sesame Street. The puppets try to teach kids about social justice and inequality by having Elmo join Antifa and torch local businesses. Clad in a black mask and a Che Guevara t-shirt, Elmo is recruited by a local Antifa chapter. After being brainwashed by the violent protesters, he is sent out to torch cop cars, burn down businesses, and throw bricks at passersby in red hats. As he violently attacks those who disagree with him politically, Elmo teaches kids at home about justice. Elmo will burn down this black-owned business. Elmo loved throwing Molotov cocktails. Elmo happy, the Muppet says. Eat the rich, ha ha ha. Elmo loves you. Unless you politically disagree, then Elmo hope you die, ha ha. All right. So,
Dear Christ!
Now, the Black Dragon is not angry about this, but he is confused as to why this is satire. He has learned of comedy and satire, especially from the dreadful series of boring lecture films by the animated Green Ogre. He says that educators, cartoons, and media are teaching children to be violent, society-hating radicals, and while he approves of the insidious manipulation and social destruction, he doesn't understand how this article can be satire. He says that he understands the value of might makes right and the weak serving the strong. So is the satire here that the ones who teach this behavior do so through a lens of equality and justice? Or is this some sort of comedy his superior intellect can't understand since he's far beyond monkey men and ogres with fake accents?
I think I have a way to explain this for him.
Well, if the party so desires, we can let Ginger go first.
Go for it.
So, as the Black Dragon is perfectly capable of understanding, might does indeed make right, which is the precise reason as to why this is satire. For you see, the members of Antifa are some of the weakest entities known to man, and the very notion that they could band together in such a way and wreak havoc without any outside forms of propping them up and supporting them is in of itself a laughable concept. Hence why this entire article is quite so funny.
Okay, I think that's pretty good. I of course, again, this dragon is very evolved, very, very powerful. So we are in constant mental communication here. 3 of 12. Wes, anything you want to add about this to the dragon and helping him understand what kind of satire this is for humans?
Yes. You have to understand, these people are weak in more than one way. Not only can they not handle any sort of argumentation or conversation or objective thinking, they are also physically weak. It's a satire on top of satire on top of satire.
I see. He immediately ponders back. If those people serve the strong because of a perceived weakness, is the feigned weakness of those who lead this kind of social fugue, such as the diversity officers and those who have pronouns in their bio, are they also part of a standing satire in the system?
Yes, the idea that such things are necessary is just ridiculous.
He let out a very hearty, draconic laugh. He approves of such deep, intellectual, multifaceted satire. And he took a shining to you. He likes you best out of all of us now, 3 of 12. Wes, is there anything you'd like to add about this?
So, because he is a black dragon, I would like to appeal to his basic nature, and ask him,
fried chicken?
Is it?
Oh God, Jesus!
Is it truly power if you didn't earn it? is it truly power if it's given to you by those who pull your strings? Are you nothing more than just a useful idiot?
His immediate response to that is that dragons are born powerful. So they earn it by birthright. But he understands that humans are not like that because they haven't had eons of selective breeding where you eat the ones that are weak, quite literally.
Of course.
He understands what you're saying and he does get it.
But
So go ahead.
well, so the interesting thing about Antifa and even those who control them is that the actual power that they wield is very, very small. Not a lot in the larger scheme of things. But overall, the areas upon which their power sits is very, very strategic. So although if it came down to a fight of power versus power, they would lose. They would lose quickly. But because they have certain points of power in our society, they're able to do great. Able to do great evils.
I see. Hold on a second. He's rolling something around in his mind. Ah, I see. Okay. No, he was just thinking that if that is the case, then why do the people tolerate their weakness if it is understood, or is it only sages like the ones I've selected for my party that have an understanding beyond the illusions of control that are broadcasted to us?
Because they have been trained to believe that they are alone, and they can't. They think that them speaking up and them doing something, even if it's just speaking out of turn, it will do nothing. So they don't do anything, and they don't realize that if they work together with all of the other people, they would be infinitely more powerful than those who wield a very small amount of power, just very, very strategically.
He chortled again and said that he approves of the insidious, manipulative nature of those who have gained power in this way, and he hopes that they continue. He believes that by doing so, it will take particularly powerful people to rise up and defeat such insidious, oppressive evil. And in doing so, the humans of this North American tribe will become stronger. So he looks forward to seeing what growth will come of this in the future.
Well,
all right.
One can hope.
As do we all.
Well, I do think that we did have a question for him. Rayclaw Icefire over on the question widget earlier asked if the Black Dragon does waffles in the morning. I am not going to put that question to this particular dragon, Rayclaw, because I think that might be an insult, and things have gone well in our diplomacy and understanding with this worm, and I don't want to upset him today. So I do appreciate your comical question, but we're going to let that pass. All right. Well, unless there's anything else you guys have to say about this Babylon Bee article to this black worm, I think we're ready to call this a success and move on. Anything else?
I would like a consolation. Oh, sorry. Carry on, Wes.
Oh, I just would like to say that it is true, though, that Elmo is the source of most evil in the world.
Well, our black dragon friend does like him more than the farcical green ogre with the bad accent. So, Ginger, go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say, perhaps... Apparently there's a lot of dogs barking all of a sudden. Perhaps if we are not going to be bothering the great black chromatic drake with the question of waffles, then perhaps we should answer in its stead. Personally, I find waffles to be a rare treat, often enjoyed with a smattering of butter and honey.
Waffles are just overcomplicated pancakes.
Yeah, I like to call the waffles engineers' pancakes.
Oh, clearly you're not having the right kind of waffle. A pancake is a floppy thing, whereas a good waffle has a crunch to it. It's delicious.
Oh, yes.
Just a complicated pancake, man. That's all it is.
No, it's got the crunch.
Yeah.
Exactly. Complicated
And-
pancake.
And the additional surface area so it can carry more syrup.
Yes.
Or fruit or whatever.
Very
Yeah.
important.
No, waffles are good. I didn't mean that I didn't like them. I just think it's funny to call them engineers pancakes because of they're like the same stuff but a lot more complicated and designed.
That is a good announcement. And your comment about an overabundance of syrup, 3 of 12, lends me to believe that you are not just tiny and effeminate, but you're also massively overweight. So, man,
I'm not. I have the
batting
hamster.
1,000, homie.
Wes, are you implying that 3 of 12 is wider than he is tall?
In my head, yes, he is.
Start playing.
I have seen 3 of 12, and he was at one of the DC marches. He is in fact not fat.
No, sorry.
I have the hamster metabolism.
Yeah.
Sorry. No. In my head, you're just you look like a pancake.
No, I am a Chad waffles enjoyer.
Chad waffles.
Enjoyer.
Oh goodness.
That was good.
Not because of me a pancake fan, of course.
Oh man. All right. Well, we have 2 dragons left now that we have had a good time and made the black dragon laugh. He had a good time. He'll definitely be back. The 2 that we have left are Insidious Alchemy from the green, and will Archmage Dolezal share her magic pondered from the white. So let's see. We've only got 2 left. So I think we're going to stick with the roll in the D3. That's pretty fun. We're going to stick with the same number arrangement. So let's roll to see which one of us gets to choose either green or white for the next one. Oh, it's a 1 again. That's 3 of 12.
Ooh.
3 of 12? Why don't you pick us one of these 2 dragons left to sort out on their quandaries?
I think I'd like Insidious Alchemy. That's
Insidious Alchemy it is.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Boop. All right, let me get it open here. Come on, where are you? There it is. Okay. All right. This is an article from Newsmax. Biden White House plans vaccine passports. The White House is working on a COVID-19 vaccine passport initiative that could be required for travel, sporting events, and even eating out, reports the Washington Post. The report comes as major U.S. airlines and nearly 30 travel and labor groups are pushing President Joe Biden to develop a standardized government-backed credential to accelerate safe economic activity and recovery. The U.S. must be a leader in this development, the groups wrote in a letter to COVID-19 Recovery Team Coordinator Jeff Zients. The current diverse and fragmented digital health credentials used to implement different countries' air travel testing requirements risks causing confusion and delay, if you're into Academic Agents channel, reducing compliance and increasing fraud. And I believe we've all talked a bit about fraud lately, haven't we? All right. So, now, as for what the Green Dragon wants, the Green Dragon wants to know if a vaccine passport could be used to administer alchemical agents into a populace without them knowing what's in it. Because if they willingly let themselves be injected without studying or even caring what's in the concoction known as the vaccine, you have to forgive his English, it's not great. A clever dragon could spread a sleeping agent into people that would make them weak against poisons or plagues that he would use on them in the future. He wonders if humans are just this stupid, or if there's a critical element to all this he's missing, maybe something that our technology grants us that he doesn't understand. 3 of 12, this was your topic. Do you want to take this one first or defer to someone else?
Yeah, sure, I'll take it. So are they going to put a gold star on it? Is it going to be sewn to our clothes? Are they going to shut down our businesses whenever we leave and force us to sell our stuff?
The Red Dragon from earlier chimes in and says they could use tattoos like those camps he learned about from our history.
Oh, that's quite an idea. I believe Jordan Peterson said something about how people used tattoos before, to indicate tribe before we had clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Although, not sure where I'm going with this. But yeah, I wanted to stick with the I wanted to stick with the Hitler joke.
Careful, goalie.
Jeez.
All right.
I mean, people have been talking about this for weeks, if not months on end, saying no passports, no passports, no passports, because it would be fascist. And yes, it would be fascist. I don't need the daddy state to tell me how to live my life, where to go, who to associate with, what I can and can't do.
Do you, does the party want me to say again what the dragon's quandary is about this before we move on?
Yeah, sure. Since I must be confusing the dragon, flying into a rage.
It's okay. The green dragon says, if people willingly let themselves be injected without studying it or even knowing what's in it, the alchemical concoction could allow a clever dragon to put a sleeper agent into people to make them weak versus future poisons or plagues, maybe even delivered to them that they aren't aware of.
Well,
He wonders if humans are just this stupid, or if there's a piece of our technology or magic that he's missing. Ginger, Wes, do you have anything to say about this?
well, if they don't, I'll speak.
Oh, you go ahead then while they think.
Well, I'd say it's a little bit of both. Social engineering is a tool that humans use to manipulate each other. Some of them will buy into it, others will not. Some will be somewhere in between. Some are aware that the vaccine is made via a method that has not yet been used to make vaccines before, and will be suspicious. Now,
The green dragon says when hunting wolves outside his swamp, that it's the smartest wolves that refuse to take the bait and watch and see what bait does to the other wolves first. Is that similar to what you're talking about here with the people who refuse to participate?
indeed. Well, some are more confident than others. I mean, if one knows what they're dealing with, there's often where the inverse is true, where something is completely safe, and the public rejects it because they're not familiar with it. But those who are smart and are confident in their thinking understand what these things are and embrace them first. So in this situation, there are going to be people who take the bait. There's some people who are going to wait and see what happens first. There's others who are going to say, well, I'm familiar with the concept, so I'll take it. It doesn't seem to be any problem with me. And those people don't understand that they can't trust governments and corporations.
Okay. Wes? Anything?
Yeah, well, yeah, the main problem here, of course, is well, fear. You instill fear in enough people, and well, they will literally run into the mouth of death itself. Not saying that's what the vaccine is, of course, but
Again, the green dragon chimes in, like like he uses his roar to spook even the smartest and the strongest of the wolves and other things that he eats.
oh yeah, absolutely. Which
So if you scare them enough, they'll run into whatever trap is there, even if they suspect it might be a trap. They'll do it out of fear.
there is a thing that sapient creatures have. It's called skepticism, and you gain it through experience. And there's something that I've said for a while now, where one has to maintain a balance between gullibility and cynicism. If you fall too far to either side, you start going down these horrible rabbit holes that lead you ultimately to your own doom, be it intellectually, emotionally, or sometimes physically. And I believe that the healthy balance between gullibility and cynicism is skepticism. Healthy skepticism to almost everything, but not being so gullible that you'll believe everything firsthand, and not being so cynical that you immediately dismiss everything that you see. And I personally don't believe that one can do that alone, which is why we need to seek out other people who are trying their best to maintain that balance and counter each other, because we are all different. So we all perceive the world in a slightly different way, but it's the subtle differences that we each notice that is our strengths and our weaknesses, and we need to learn to combine our strengths and collectively disregard our weaknesses.
The dragon immediately quipped back with, "This must be a rare trait because he doesn't see much evidence of this in the North American tribe that he's been studying."
Oh, I can speak on that. Now,
Please do.
Now, it's not so much that skepticism itself was uncommon until recent years, but but the forces that are behind these actions, they've crafted a cult where they have managed to separate skepticism from expertise in science. They've divorced it from public discourse, where they demand follow the science. The science is evidence.
He asks if the science is what we call faith here, because he says the priests that he knows of the kingdom near his swamp, that they get their flock to disbelieve or to believe things by rote and religious behavior. He asks if that's what if the priest class are scientists here in this tribe.
Normally, they are not, but they've been crafted into such.
I see. Okay. All right, he understands. He understands. Ginger, you've been kind of quiet. Is there anything you want to add on this, or anything you think that would help the green understand this phenomenon better?
I'm afraid there really isn't much to add. The best I could say is that when it comes down to it, the vast majority of people who have already received the vaccine have either been coerced into doing so or have done so merely out of a blind trust of the powers that be.
And you know, the ironic thing about this is there already was a certain group of people who were, I would argue, too far on the cynical side when it came to vaccines, even as recently as a couple years ago, that didn't trust any vaccines in any way whatsoever, ever. And in my opinion, that is traveling too far down the gullible route, or the cynical route. Now we have people falling way too far down the gullible route when it comes to it because of the backlash of those people. Which again goes back to my feeling of got to stay in the middle.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up with this dragon here? He understands a little better now. He's a little frustrated at the weakness, but he still believes that if necessary, his plan could work, and he believes that the warlords and the priest class here that are called scientists might still implement his plan.
There is one thing.
Sure, let's hear it.
I have, believe it or not, have actually received the vaccine. And didn't receive any unpleasant side effects from it whatsoever. Aside from the initial stabbing, of course.
I see. He says, the dragon says back to me that clearly, if you take it once, then you would be, and have no negative effects, you would be willing to take something else that one of these science priests wanted to give you in the future. And so he still believes that his tactic is a sound one.
Potentially.
So, 3 of 12, Wes, anything else, or are we going to wrap up with the green dragon here?
I just find it hilariously ironic that like one of my favorite things, and I will never get over it, is during like the first week of the Biden presidency, there was a tweet from the White House that said Joe Biden is getting his vaccine because he believes in science. And it's like, okay, so you basically don't know what science is. You don't believe in science. You don't believe in science. You. use the scientific method to endorse the fact that you are correct. You believe in science. Just
Believe in the science.
Believe.
For the greater good.
I'm getting flashbacks to like 2009 with
Science.
the edgy neck-bearded atheists, anti-theists in their
Oh my
with their
God.
fedoras, tipping it, milady,
Oh yeah,
feeling
yeah,
euphoric,
what an era that was.
feeling euphoric AF, and believing in my science.
In this moment, I am euphoric.
Oh God.
The green dragon that's with us today, he appreciates our levity, and even though we have assuaged some of his belief in this plan, he's going to mull it over, and he thanks us for our time and our input. So we have done our duty with the green dragon. So now,
I've just
go
thought
ahead.
of something. Sorry.
Go ahead,
Before
Ginger.
before the green dragon leaves, I was wondering if they could bless us with some initial wisdom as to precisely who the white dragon is referring to.
No, that's outside of the green dragon's knowing. We'll have to get to that when we speak to the white.
Okay.
Speaking of, that is the final dragon for today. But before we do that, we're going to take a short break and see what we've got over on the other websites here. Over on DLive, we've got White Healing, Tom V, Jim, and Alex. Howdy, guys. Thank you for tuning in over here. Thank you for the lemons, Jim. I appreciate it. We've got Morpheus and Morty over on Trovo. Good to see you guys over there. Now let's refresh PayPal and Cash App and see what we got going on over here. All right, we have something from Dawn. Dawn of the Scrubs. Thank you so much, Dawn. Dawn sends some cute emojis. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that, sister. She sends 11 US dollars, and just sends some playful emojis, a little heart, an okay sign, and a gold trophy. Thank you so much, sister. I appreciate that. And over on Cash App, we still don't have anything yet. And now let's check Entropy. We got Zoldor and Matt chatting it up over here on the Entropy chat feed, but nothing in the question widget. So that means it's time to leave this one and return to the last dragon for the day. And that, of course, will be the White Dragon. The White Dragon ponders, will Archmage Dolezal share her magic? Now, Ginger asked the question about who this might be. Does anyone here in the assembled party for the Dragon Council today? Do you guys all know who I'm talking about with Archmage Dolezal?
Very.
It's not really clicking.
3 of 12, do you?
It's not clicking, but I get
Not
the feeling
clicking.
once you show the story, I'll get it.
No, we'll actually do a Rachel Dolezal. I believe that a simple picture will be all that it takes to spark your memory about who this is. So give me just a second and I'll pull up. All right. We're going to go ahead and post a picture of Archmage Dolezal for the party here. Here we go. Now, do you know who this is?
She UK.
Does this spark your memory?
I do not.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
I thought everybody would know this one.
Oh, I'm very well aware of this stunning and brave individual of color.
Yes.
Wait a second,
Yes.
it's clicking. Wait. Oh my god, she's the one who claimed to be transracial, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh no.
Excuse me?
Ginger, just so you know, this will be a good vehicle to explain who Rachel Dolezal is. Rachel Dolezal had a long history of being with black family members, and I think she's Caucasian or some kind of Caucasian. But
Yeah.
she does her hair a certain way and tans her skin to appear as a mixed race of African heritage, and has had a long career of doing, I guess, NAACP style activism for African Americans and stuff. Well, it came to light about her past, and for a couple of years, she was a meme, and a lot of people in the intersectional woke circles either supported or hated her, mostly hated her, for being quote unquote transracial. And it was a big running meme for a long time of if Caitlyn Jenner gets to be a woman, why does Rachel Dolezal not get to be black? And that was a very popular meme back in, like, I guess, 2014? Does that sound about right, Wes? 2015, something like that.
Yeah, it was about 2015, if I remember correctly. It was pre-Trump. I know
like
that much.
Yeah, it was definitely pre-Trump. But anyway, that was the Archmage Dolezal reference. I assumed you guys would know. But now that we have sorted that out for everyone, let me explain to you what the White Dragon wants to know. He wants to know why what humans call race cannot be changed, since we already seem to possess the magic necessary to change a person's sex, reassign parents to different spouses and children, and to transmute large gourds into modes of transportation, as he sees in this article. Give me just a second to get it up. Minnesota Cinderella theater production canceled after 98% of the cast was white. And so his quandary here is, instead of the Kahassan Dinner Theater canceling play, why did they not just use their magic that Archmage Dolezal has to shift around their genetic characteristics? And he wonders, is this particular magic safeguarded, too expensive to implement? Because he knows that the same North American tribe has the magic necessary to change sex and to reassign children to different parents. So,
much in the same
who wants
way.
to take this first?
I'll go ahead with first. Wes, do you have something?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You see,
Go ahead.
as a trans non-binary female masculine presenting lesbian, I personally
Stunning and
cannot.
brave.
Yeah, I know, right? I am a part of the LGBT community. You can tell by my very luscious beard and deep masculine voice that, despite the fact that I am a trans female, I am masculine presenting, and
You're clearly a trans female lesbian, obviously.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, non-binary, trans.
Of course.
Trans lesbian. Yes.
And it would be bigoted to suggest otherwise.
Absolutely. But anyway, so I mean, obviously this is racist. Okay. So now, you have a European. You have a European story that comes from Europe, that takes place in medieval Europe, that has entirely white characters, set in a very, very white setting.
Arguably the whitest.
So of course it needs to be at least half POC. And
of course, because that's only fair, right? Like with equality and whatnot.
It would be racist to predict otherwise. Like, it would be racist to think otherwise, because, I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean,
oh yeah, the White Dragon is familiar with how powerful of a spell the racism is. He has seen it work wonders, and he says that he has noticed that the racism spell can change minds and earn people millions of dollars in the blink of an eye.
Oh yes, absolutely.
He's very familiar with it.
Yeah, no, I just this is like I am reminded of the Ryan Gosling is Martin Luther King meme.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But anyway, back on point here.
Yes.
The White Dragon is curious. Does Archmage Dolezal possess magic, or perhaps magic items, that allow her access to the magic that can transform someone's genetics? Because he knows that the same magic can reassign children to different parents and change someone's sex. So that's what he's baffled by.
Well,
yes.
in a way, yes.
Yes. It's called a vagina.
Yes, much in the same way that a dragon would keep various powerful artifacts hidden away within the confines of their hoard in order to prevent the knowledge and existence of these artifacts from getting out to the wider world. The certain individuals like Archmage Dolezal have also managed to squirrel away their own secrets, secrets that they use to hold on to their own sources of power and utilize them in such a way that the standard common man will never be able to do so in order to maintain a position of power.
He says that makes sense with how people turned on her and attempted to disgrace her because they were jealous of her power. It makes sense to him now.
Exactly.
3 of 12, anything you want to add to the White Dragon's understanding about this?
Well, as I explained to other dragons, social engineering is quite a bit of powerful magic.
Yes, but he sees that people can change their sex and can even reassign children to different parents, and that seems to be ubiquitous, while he would think that the same magic to change one's sex would be a similar spell, if not the same spell, for changing one's genetic phenotype.
Well, you'd be wrong, because the magic is simply words.
White dragons are quick to anger, so I'm not going to tell him directly that he's wrong, but I will let him know that in our mental communication here. Okay, all right. The way that I put it to him was the social construct, and the way I described it to him was a subtle fear that people have about changing different elements of their biology. That's how I put it to him, so now he understands. So, anything else you guys want me to say to him to further explain this conundrum?
I would also say that, of course, it's the white dragon that brings this up. Racist.
I have to wonder if the white dragon.
Just a second, Ginger. Each week, the dragons, Wes, they have themes. The green one. The green one is usually about the coof or masks or something disease or health related. The black is usually about something insidious or manipulative. The blue is usually a wild card. The red is always about something being eaten or destroyed. And the white one, hilariously, is always the one that I put racial stuff on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Racist.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead, Ginger. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. The white dragon. I have to ask: did it source the information for its question itself, or did it have an underling do preliminary scouting and then report back to it for itself?
Well, I know that the Council of Worms has many people that study this planet, and the worms that come to me as ambassador to this realm, one of many, by the way, it's not just me. The Council of Worms appoints dragons that have certain quandaries, and they assign them to different cabals of ambassadors. And I'm one of the North American ambassadors. So I don't know exactly who feeds them the information that they get, but it's through a mix of scrying and personal agents of the Council of Worms. That's how they gather their information. And some dragons, not the white one, but don't tell him I said this, some dragons are powerful enough to scry directly on Earth themselves, but this one isn't. But let's not tell him that. I don't want to upset him.
I see. I suspected that might have been the case. In which case, I would suggest that perhaps the white dragon speak to his agents and his information sources and perhaps drill into them the importance that they provide accurate information.
I see.
A quick spot of feeding might be in order.
Okay. Wes, 3 of 12. Anything else for the white dragon here before we send him on his way?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, he's not the most satisfied, but he's got enough information now to go his own way and think on things. So that is all 5 dragons that were assigned to us today to answer their quandaries and questions and to help them sort out the tangled morass of human society, especially here in North America. That being said, the council is especially happy with our performance today. So they have assigned to us many pieces of treasure from a hoard.
Hey.
Oh, excellent.
And I'm going to show you the hoard.
This is a well-paying job.
Yes, it is. So, as you can see, we can take many pieces of treasure from this hoard. There's the shield. There's a locked chest, many pieces of armor and weapons, as well as a bunch of gold. So the first thing is this. Excuse me, Wes. Since you're new here, the treasure hoard at the end is an uplifting or positive article, and then some fun memes and stuff just to be happy and laugh at. That's our reward for each stream.
Good times.
Yeah. So first of all, there is a scroll laying on the treasure hoard, and it is as follows.
Ooh, scrolls are my favorite.
Oh, yes. USA Today, race and inclusion editor fired for controversial tweet about the Boulder shooting. A race and inclusion editor at USA Today complained on Friday that she was fired after mistakenly tweeting that the Boulder supermarket shooter was just another angry white man. But she's blaming the resulting alt-right outrage, but not just herself. It's always an angry white man, always, ex-editor, unpronounceable name, said Monday in her offending tweet, which she admitted in a Medium post on Friday had been careless. Extremely tired of white people's lives depending on whether a white man with an AR-15 is having a good day or not. And this tweet got her fired for anti-white racismus. And so it's good seeing people like this get their comeuppance or pay the piper, so to speak. This always brings a smile to my face when I see people like this get the axe. I just thought that would be something pleasant for us to share.
I must admit, I can never support the idea of somebody being fired or denied employment simply because of what they've said. But at the same time, it does feel good when it happens to the other side, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. I can entirely support it when it happens to a journalist. Not because she's a journalist, but because it's her job to say these things correctly. It's entirely her job, and she screwed it up.
Yeah, and I always get a sense of satisfaction seeing people have to sleep in the beds that they've made, and especially blue checks and journalists. Man, they're just some of the worst.
Yeah.
Are any of the worms present, by the way?
Say again. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Are any of the worms present?
No, they depart, and then the council opens us up a gate spell to walk into whatever treasure hoard that we are allowed to take what we want.
Well, wrap her up in a blanket, keep her warm, and we can send her over.
Let's not tell the Red. I'm sure he would love that. The next bit of treasure that we have here is a meme. This one's pretty good. It has to do with the.
I can't. I'm stuck.
Oh, I saw this one earlier today, and it's brilliant.
Wes, have you seen this one yet?
Oh yeah. Oh
I like this one. This is a good one. All right. Next, we have. Let's see. Here's another one. In the treasure pile today is another ship meme. This one is a GIF, and many of you might remember this GIF if you're old like me and used to watch movies in the 90s. This one's pretty good.
Yes, I have another two for you. I'll send them to you so that you can take a look.
Sure. Yes, PM them to me on Discord.
How old is this? Oh, this is only 2 hours old.
So here's the first.
News.
And
that's pretty good.
Oh God!
You may want to think twice before putting this one on the stream, but still, it's especially funny.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that one. However,
I have some breaking news.
Oh,
breaking news! Yeah, go ahead and tell us while I get
this is only a couple hours old, but just in. Mike Lindell says that Donald Trump will be back in office in August as a result of the voter fraud lawsuit he'll be filing.
No, I'm sure.
Hey, he's a more optimistic man than I.
Here's one that Ginger added to the treasure pile. He decided to donate some of his own treasure for us today. Ship gets unstuck. Reddit. I don't want to play with you anymore. That's pretty good. Okay. Last but not least, in this meme, now there is more treasure, but the first treasure box here was Suez Canal memes. So the last one of these is as follows. This is one of my favorites. I love this one.
That is wonderful.
That's the cop from the George Floyd case, correct?
That's Chauvin.
That
That's
is
yeah.
Derek Chauvin, yes.
I thought so.
Yes. Okay. All right, we're almost done. We have one more meme, and then we have a video to close us out. So here's a funny meme for everybody. Since Elmo featured earlier in the stream, I figured I'd put us a fun current Elmo meme here.
I have been told by my black friends that is an affirmative.
Yes.
So
All
does
right,
that
now the
mean
last
that your
bit of
black
treasure-
friends have given
the
us
last bit of-
all the end pass.
If you
Oh, I don't play that game.
under POC supervision.
I see.
All right, now our last bit of treasure is a funny meme video. It's only 8 seconds long, so everybody pay attention. And it has a dragon in it, and so that's why I decided to use this one, because it's a funny meme that has a dragon in it. So here we go.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Just in case
we see that one again?
people missed it, we're gonna do this one again. This is a real knee slapper.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, somebody in chat said that that's not a dragon; it's a horse. It looked like a dragon to me. I don't know. I don't know shit about mascots, but it's actually we're gonna do this one more time. One more time.
Clearly, it's a dragon. When was the last time you saw a horse light a fire?
Oh, what a good time! Oh, what a good time. Oh, my goodness. Well, I think that was some really good treasure today. That's I'm happy with the rewards that the Council of Worms gave us. Did you guys enjoy that treasure today?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's good
they
stuff.
were truly wonderful.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, let's go check chat and stuff again to see if anybody has left us any messages or donations or anything. Let's refresh the old PayPal and Cash App, and then we'll give Entropy a look-see on the way out. Excuse me. All right, still nothing over on Cash App, and still just the $111 donation from Dawn over on PayPal. So let's see what we have over on D-Live. Was still just the lemons from Jim. Thank you very much, Jim. And over on Entropy, we have Zoldor playing the spelling game I see in chat, but don't have any particular questions or comments. So that means that today's stream has come to an end on time. Wes, Ginger, 3 of 12, thank you so much for coming and playing around today and having a good time with Dragons of Discord. And you all are, of course, welcome back another day. We'll be having this stream hopefully every Monday night. And if we're going to continue to get willing guests to come on, I'm going to continue this fun Laugh at Clown World improv / role-playing show every week. So same time every week, all of you viewers. And we peaked at about 64, 65 viewers, counting people on the multiple platforms. So that's pretty good for me.
Hey, that's another quarter.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. And upcoming guests, we're going to have Don the Pleb back. We're going to have Aiden Paladin coming back.
Oh,
We've got Dev of Short Fat Otaku going to come on. We've got Scrump. And I'm going to try to get Trigger Hippie to come on when Scrump does. And hopefully we'll have a lot of higher ticket guests coming on and bringing in more people for the fun. So you guys that came to visit today from Dev's channel, thank you for coming. I see Tidge, Rayclaw with us today, and I saw a couple of others earlier that I noticed from Short Fat Otaku's stream earlier today. And of course, we got a lot of people from the White Positive community. We got White Healing doing moderation here, Bertie Bassett earlier. We got Machiavelli Sucks to Go from all the stream communities that I see. And we've got Safety Zoom from Game Boomers. Nice to see a lot of familiar faces coming to have a fun time with us on the Discordant Dragons stream. And remember, appease the dragons and they give you treasure. So hopefully next week we'll have more of the same. So thank you to all of my wonderful guests for showing up today. Thank you for the wonderful support from the community. Now we move to the part of the stream where I ask people if they have things they want to shill. Now, Wes, I already have the link to your Zap Rousdower channel ready to share. Is there anything else you'd like me to share for you?
Yeah, no, that Zap Rousdower channel is that low key my baby, but although I have been neglecting it the last couple months.
Well, I certainly give it a lot of traffic. Me and my husband love just to chill with MST on, and we exclusively play your channel now for background MST.
Yeah, I've got to. There are a couple channels that got messed up by there are some episodes that got messed up by some copyright stuff that I got to fix.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, yeah, no, it's a good channel. Also, I'm gonna start. I think it's okay to start talking about it on live streams and whatnot. On my main channel, Wes Wyleven, me.
Okay.
Just look me up on YouTube.
That's the one on your Twitter, right? That's where I get the link for that.
Yeah. If you look me up on Twitter, on YouTube, anywhere, you'll find me.
I'm going to shield your Twitter first, and then I'll shield the your proper channel.
Yeah, you can look me up on anything pretty much, and if I'm on there, it's me. But I'm gonna start doing some lighthearted stuff. Like, there's one of the things that I've noticed is no one's really talking about one of my great passions, which is science fiction and Star Trek in particular, and the lessons that we can learn from Star Trek. See, there's quite a lot of misinformation out there about Star Trek in particular.
Misinformation in 2021? Are you sure?
Right. People are either talking about the new shit, and that is what it is. Sorry, I hit the mic. That is what it is. It's shit.
Indeed. Indeed.
No one's really talking about the old stuff, and Lord knows no one's talking about Deep Space Nine. But
they should be, because that for a connoisseur such as myself, I believe that is the best Star Trek.
Yeah. Deep Space Nine is my favorite. The people that are talking about it, they either are very left-leaning or kind of shit at it. Like, not gonna lie, the few people that I have caught on with, they're okay, but presentation has a bit to be desired, or they're leftists. They look at this. They look at Star Trek, which is something that has inspired generations of people to become scientists and engineers and
not just that, but good people too.
Like all this stuff, and they think it's some kind of communist utopia. It's not.
It's not at all. No,
the exact opposite. But there's a lot of people that think
I even made a video about it last year about how Star Trek is like the quote unquote good. Like that's what you want. Like, you want to overcome all the isms and problems while also not erasing the ethnicities and rich cultural histories that exist. Like, Star Trek is the good ending.
Yeah.
Well, Star Trek is the utopian ending. In my opinion, the best ending that we can hope for is a citizen statocracy, or what's known as a Heinleinian model of a citizen republic.
Oh yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Starship Troopers for the layman. Starship Troopers.
Yeah, the Heinlein Libertopia is actually something that is partly feasible in the world we occupy.
Yeah, and I know an insane amount. I know an insane amount about that. I actually wrote a paper in a economics class, a socioeconomics class, excuse me, about Heinleinian socioeconomics. So,
cool.
Ooh,
yeah,
I'd love to read that.
Yeah, it was very, but you got to keep in mind, this was a time when you could actually go against the grain in universities and not get kicked out. So it was a subject of quite a lot of debate when I started to try to explain to people, no, it's not a fascist military dictatorship, because it's literally run by citizens, and it's citizens, like, just just going off on that. And they're very lively debate, very, very good stuff. Know quite a lot about it. But one of the things that I was thinking about doing was getting people together and just going through literally every single episode of the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise, and just talking about it. Some episodes would be like 5 minutes. Some episodes would be like 2-3 hours. It all depends on what's in the episode, what happened, the behind the scenes stuff, and how people feel about it. Just every episode,
awesome.
just going through, just talking about it.
If you want me to be on it and help with that in any way, just let me know, because that sounds really interesting and fun. And I do think that it also adds something positive to discourse. And like a lot of people in my neck of the woods that, or content creator wise, we want to start making stuff that's positive instead of just talking about negative stuff. So that's one of the impetus. That was an impetus behind me doing the Dragons of Discord thing. Is just giving people some good framework to come laugh at Clown World and have positivity together, that kind of thing. No. And what you're talking about is wonderful. I think that's great. I'd be glad to help you with that. And if you want me to come on and commentate, if you want me to help circulate or help you with my proofreading stuff, I'm glad to help in any way I can.
Absolutely, because it's literally just going to be people talking about the messages of Star Trek and how it can apply, how it applied to the past and how it can apply today. And like the weird stuff that happened and the cool stuff that happened in the episode and all just getting together and appreciating the glory that is Star Trek.
Okay,
just
sounds
how
good
it is.
And if you don't know this,
like just today, literally just today this morning, we were waiting for the stream that we usually watch in the morning in Cabal, and I just put on the Next Gen episode, The Drumhead.
Oh,
because it's very, very applicable to some things that's going on today. Show me the man, I'll show you the crime. Like that type of thing.
Exactly.
It's there are a lot of episodes that we can sit and just talk about the meaning of and debate about it. And I want to get people with like dissenting opinions. I want to get people that don't necessarily like Star Trek to try to come in and kind of go against the grain a little bit. And
well, we already have interest in the chat here. We even have Tidge. Tidge is from over from the Short Fat Otaku Game Boomer crew. That's where I met her, and she says that she could listen to us nerds chat about Star Trek all day. Yeah. So I definitely invite you to follow Wes Wyleven's channel and look for updates about this, because it'll definitely be in the works. Definitely for at least this year, right? If not by this summer.
Oh yeah, no. I plan on. Look, the only thing that's stopping me is my ridiculously impressive ineptitude when it comes to technology.
Well, okay.
I am not good with Trek. With tech. Trek. Oops. Freudian slip. No, I am not good with tech, like at all. I'm not a tech expert, but I'll help you with what little I've learned doing streaming and stuff. I'll help you. Well, like you guys are astoundingly lucky that I'm even able to be here. not to sound too conceited, but it's just like, oh God, tech stuff make brain hurt.
Well, I think it goes to that saying, I definitely want in on this, and I could be your tech support.
Yeah, 3 of 12 is very tech inclined, so definitely he can hook you up with stuff.
Yeah, I would also love to be able to join in on this, especially considering I'm very interested in Star Trek, and yet have to date seen a grand total of one episode, being the one that you broadcasted for us earlier today, Wes.
Yeah.
Oh well, I definitely think you'll enjoy it, because I've rewatched some older episodes, even some original series stuff in the last decade, and it looks a little out of date, but like the messaging and the acting and stuff, it holds up just fine, and in a lot of times it's actually pretty good, so it's still enjoyable.
So the practical effects and the makeup seems to be good enough that it's really it really does hold up. It doesn't look like it's dated. It just looks like it was made a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be shocked when you see Enterprise.
Admittedly, you also watched an episode of the Blu-ray remaster of The Next Generation.
Yeah,
which
and it came out really well.
Tens of millions of dollars went into that restoration. So, yeah, it looks good for a reason.
I see.
And also, if we watch some season 1 stuff, man, Ooh, boy, we
That
we can
stuff was
point out some
rough.
bugs. But yeah, no.
Anything else you want to shill?
No, that mainly keep an eye out on my channel. Like, I'm gonna be making stuff. I'm gonna be doing
You know
stuff.
what? I have a couple things to shill. Considering we're
Sure.
talking about Star Trek, and my knowledge of Star Trek extends to both to Beta, Gamma, and Delta canon as well. So I definitely shill a few good games to look into. Star Trek Online is absolutely fantastic. It's free to play, and the timeline takes place. It takes place in its own timeline past 2387 after the Hobos explosion in 2409 to 2411. It has great plot, great stories, great gameplay. Ship combat's great, very fun. And then I also would say get a hold of Star Trek Fleet Command. It is the only game that I know so far that is good in any way that takes place in the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, I agree with that. Star Trek Online, although it has been delving into the cringe because it acknowledges the existence of Discovery and Picard.
Yes,
But gameplay's solid though, and it still feels like Star Trek, unlike any other new stuff nowadays, at least. And I really got to get back on that.
for the most, as far as I'm
Anything
concerned,
else?
it's real
Anything
Star
else?
Trek.
3 of 12.
I think that's just about it at the moment. They just wrapped up.
And I know, Ginger, you're not a creator, but is there anything you want to talk about or shield before we get out of here?
No, although I am thinking that I will be starting something up relatively soon, maybe in the next few months or so. I'm just trying to
you
think
definitely
of
let us know.
I'm just trying to think of a good concept around which to actually produce something.
Well, we will work on that off stream. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here because we're past time already. Before I get out of here, there are 2 streams starting soon that I'd like to help shill. For Null is a guy who's been on here before. He has a Monday night stream where he plays different kinds of music. It's called his Monday Night Music Dungeon. And that's 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. He'll be starting up soon. And you can go check him out. He does host segments that are sometimes funny, sometimes scripted, or it's just him commentating on different kinds of music. So definitely go check him out if you like. And Dev over at Short Fat Otaku and Game Boomers on his Twitch, he's going to be streaming tonight. So you can go check him out at this link if it'll work. Give me a second. There it goes.
And one last shill, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
Cal Ronis of Cabal has his own art streams that he does.
Old Calroins.
Cal Roins? Yes. I've even showed up in a couple of those.
Cool.
So,
Do you have the link? Because I don't have it on hand. I don't know the name of his channel.
I will. I'll put it in. Oh.
I must admit, Cal's Loins is a wonderful artist. You should check him out.
Yes, really. Oh, he's already got.
All right. Is it in private chat or Discord? Where'd you send it?
I will drop it in on the Discord server
Sure.
in links and articles.
All right, I got it.
So he goes by Calronis Alfaro on YouTube.
All right.
And he already has 20 subscribers. Good for him.
He's an up and coming artist, and I know this guy from Discord, and he's pleasant to listen talk. He's got an Australian accent, which I find enjoyable. I like Aussie accents.
You might find that in the first stream that he has a video called 3 of 12 Femboy.
He has what?
He has a very low tolerance for the horny.
Oh, okay, good. As one should.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being
Absolutely.
said, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, 3 of 12, for co-hosting. Thank you so much, Wes, for being a part of this. I love your voice and your creativity. You're always welcome around here. We will definitely get together and do this again soon. And tune in next Monday, because unless something happens and people all bail and don't get back to me, we're going to have another Dragons of Discord a week from tonight. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right, see you
Alrighty.
guys.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.